Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Folks, I gotta tell you, some of these Bitcoin maxi trolls out there, they just seem truly unhinged to me. Bitcoin, Ripple scam coin, zero, blah, 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 cottage cheese, blah, 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 blah. And that's the Bitcoin maxi troll referencing its favorite meal, which is room temperature cottage cheese, and that is precisely what they sound like. I know I'm not good at impressions, except for that one. That one I freaking nail. That is exactly what Bitcoin maxi trolls sound like. No matter what they're saying, that's the sound that comes out of all of them. It's all exactly the same. And so there's a very popular XRP hater who's saying untruths about XRPs, denying that there's any utility for XRP, not going to be used as a bridge currency, even though it is being used as a bridge currency today, literally today. And a Ripple employee responded with some cold hard facts and engaged in a little critical thinking exercise explaining exactly why a bridge currency is needed to glue together all of the assets and cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies in an increasingly tokenized world. So plenty to discuss here, but before I go any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, I wanted to briefly mention this before jumping into the main event here. Here's a headline from literally yesterday from Cointelegraph. Volcanoes, Bitcoin, and remittances. A Tongan lord plans for financial security. And I just want to read the first, I think it's one sentence. A former member of the Tongan parliament is behind a proposal to make Bitcoin legal tender in the tiny Pacific nation of Tonga, following in the footsteps of El Salvador. It's due for a vote in Parliament in May, and the early signs are encouraging. So there you go. I'm not familiar with Tonga. I happen to have not heard of this particular nation. But again, this story from just yesterday, effectively going the same route as El Salvador. And I'm not going to be too far outside the scope of the video to get into the specifics of this, but I still wanted to mention this because in case you had not heard, the next day, which is to say today, an underwater volcano erupted right next to Tonga. And there are a bunch of volcanoes there, apparently. Gigantic. And so you can see here's a headline from CNN. This happened literally today. And I'd never heard of Tonga, and now they're just all over the news in crypto and mainstream media, and for good reason, obviously. Tsunami advisory in effect for U.S. as waves hit Tonga following volcanic eruption. And my understanding is that much of the west coast of the continental U.S. was under a tsunami warning, Hawaii, and then other nations as well, including Japan. And look at what this thing looked like from space. Here, I'll hit play on this. This is just a video clip that kind of loops, and it's got a couple different shots. But if you're looking at your screen right now, look at that thing. That's the volcano erupting. Absolutely massive. So, I feel for the people out there. I do. I mean, I'd never even heard of this nation before, but from what I've read about it, it seems like these islands, they're unfortunately pretty flat, so if waves are coming in, there's not even necessarily somewhere to escape, and there's no power, there's no internet, so people don't even know the state of things for sure there, but all I can do is just hope for the best. We'll know soon. It's just weird seeing this. They're talking about Bitcoin and crypto going the way of El Salvador, and then the very next day a volcano erupts. Crazy stuff, right? All right, let's get into the main event here. So here's a tweet from Nick Carter, and I've shared some of his comments over the years, just from time to time. He's well known in crypto, I think it's fair to say. 292,900 followers. He hates Ripple, as you'll see, and he hates XRP, and it's for illogical nonsense reasons. Take a look at this tweet from just 12 hours ago. We're at the point where the government is teaming up with Ripple to create paid opposition research on Bitcoin mining. And then he highlighted this. He wrote, "Oh, and here's the punchline. People are dying because of $6 a month in power costs." And then he notes in parentheses, "I haven't vetted the paper. I'm almost certain it's exaggerated, but even if true, it doesn't justify the hysterical takes." And what's he referencing? Well, here's a screen grab he shared from a paper, and I haven't vetted this either, but so it very well may be true, though. But it's talking about, it's just genuine, real critique about the expense associated with mining, which is a real thing here. It reads as follows. We find that households experience an extra cost of $6 per month, or $71 per year. While the amount might seem small, we doubt that any residents would be indifferent if they realized that they were paying higher prices because of crypto mining. The average monthly electricity bill in New York is $106 for residents. Thus, the welfare cost in percentage terms is plus 6%. Further, note that our result is similar to our previously highlighted quote from Plattsburgh that crypto mining had driven up the electricity prices for households by $10 per month. So let me just pause. Does this sound like a hysterical take, or does this sound like a paper that is thoughtfully written and sharing facts? And again, I didn't vet it, but assuming that they're not lying liars, they're just reporting facts, are they not? And so his take, because his sensitive little soul here of Nick Carter, anything that's bad, any factual bad statement about Bitcoin makes you the devil, effectively. And it's complete hysteria, and that's what it is. That's how these people, it's like, it's become a religion to these people. Like, Bitcoin is their identity for some of these people out here. It's completely ridiculous. And then he wrote this. If you're in any way affiliated with Ripple, you've ever worked with them, or taken money from them, you're dead to me. It's that simple. Their entire strategy is lobbying A, to get Bitcoin proof of work banned, and B, to get Ethereum branded a security. Ghastly people. And so these things are not true. I mean, yes, Ripple lobbies, but the whole crypto space should lobby more for regulatory clarity. But look, as far as proof of work, it is absolutely a waste. Like, that's just a cold, hard fact. I'm not seeing Ripple outright trying to get Bitcoin banned. That doesn't make sense. In fact, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, he says he's long Bitcoin, so quite to the contrary, frankly. And then as far as getting Ethereum branded a security, what in the ever-loving hell are they talking about? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Nobody at Ripple is trying to get Ethereum branded a security, and he calls them ghastly people. This is crazy behavior, right? It's weird to write this stuff, right? This doesn't make logical sense. Well, luckily, a Ripple employee named Matt Hamilton saw this, and he retweeted this. Actually, I wanted to mention this too before getting into Matt Hamilton's response. Somebody jumped in and responded to Nick and wrote, they're also pushing hard for central bank digital currencies, tells you all you need to know. Look, I happen to have talked about this, I think it was literally just yesterday, about central bank digital currencies and Ripple's plan. Here's the deal. The way Ripple views it, and I think it's the correct view, whether you like it or not, central bank digital currencies they're already here, and they're going to be here in an increasingly large way. So Ripple's just being the adult in the room saying, okay, well, regardless of whether or not you like it, here it is. It's just gonna become like a way of life. And all sorts of fiat currencies are going to have the new digital version representations of them. Like there could be a United States dollar central bank digital currency. And I have concerns about that. I talked about them just in a video again, literally yesterday. But it's going to happen. It is happening. It's already happening. And so if in this increasingly tokenized world, everything's becoming tokenized. Stocks are becoming tokenized. You don't have a trading pair from every asset to every asset. That's just a cold, hard fact. And so Ripple, recognizing all of this, is simply positioning XRP to be utilized as a bridge currency for everything that's tokenized in any way, including central bank digital currencies. That's it, okay? There's nothing sinister about recognizing reality and then helping to increase interoperability. There's nothing bad about that. And then Nick Carter responded and wrote, central bank digital currencies, if they go on chain, and stablecoins totally invalidate the Ripple bridge currency narrative. No one wants to use XRP for payments or as an intermediate currency in foreign exchange transfers. There you go. And we're going to come back to that because that's literally not true. He wrote, no one wants to use XRP for payments or as an intermediate currency in FX transfers. Literally not true. And so Matt Hamilton shared that little thread from Nick Carter and wrote the following. The problem with this argument is that companies are using XRP as an intermediate for cross-border payment, as in right now. 25% of all volume on RippleNet, which itself is quite a significant volume, is carried by XRP. Folks, this is just a fact. Out of all of RippleNet, 25% of that volume is moved by XRP specifically. But let's break down the faulty logic of Nick Carter even further, because he's got a massive platform. He's saying untruths. I'm not a fan of people saying untruths, so let's go ahead and set the record straight. It makes me very thankful that I have this platform so I can do things like this from time to time. Matt Hamilton wrote the following. Not only that, how would you use stablecoins? Stable to which currency? The XRP ledger was the first blockchain to have stablecoins, and feedback from financial institutions was they didn't want to use them due to counterparty risk. Hence, using XRP as a bridge asset. So think about this. If you're a financial institution, there's somebody that has created these stablecoins, and what if they rug pull? Like, why are you going to have trust in whatever this entity is that has created this stablecoin, which is representative? It's just a representation of a fiat currency, whether it's the United States dollar, the Thai baht. Pick your currency. It's just a new digital representation of that, except for there's counterparty risk because whoever's controlling this and creating it, they could just rug pull. They could. This happens in crypto, right? It's an actual concern that financial institutions are aware of, and they don't want to take on that risk. And so Matt Hamilton continues. And I love this because it's just like these people have these opinions. It's like they haven't used their brain to think through what a transaction would look like and what the real world problems might be. They just have these opinions because they're talking points that have proliferated in the Bitcoin community. It just has. So Matt Hamilton wrote the following. I mean, think it through. Which stablecoin would a financial institution in Thailand and a financial institution in Brazil use to transact? Digital baht? Digital real? Most Bitcoiners, strangely, seem to think USDT, so that'd be, Tether, which is a representation of the United States dollar, and there's counterparty risk there. And so he says, most Bitcoiners, strangely, seem to think Tether would be best. Why would either country want to be beholden to the United States dollar? And isn't that an excellent question? It's like stablecoins exist. No more need for bridging anything. What? Wouldn't he ever? How does your brain work like that? Son, how does your brain freaking work like that? Because think about the example he's citing here. Which stablecoin would a financial institution in Thailand and a financial institution in Brazil use to transact? They're going to use Tether, the United States dollar, specifically? Really? Or would they be more likely to use a digital representation of the currencies that are used in their countries? The digital baht, the digital real. What do you think is going to be the case? And so if they're not going to use the United States dollar, which is in reality what's most likely to happen, those stable coins don't by nature somehow interoperate. You need a bridge because you're not going to have, like I said earlier in the video, you're not going to have a trading pair for everything that's tokenized on the planet. Whether it's a tokenized stock or whether it's another cryptocurrency or it's a central bank digital currency or a stablecoin, you're not going to have every pair on every platform. It's just not going to happen. But so if you have a decentralized cryptocurrency that's sufficiently liquid the world over and it's blazing fast, doesn't it make sense to use it as a bridge? So, you purchase XRP on one platform in one exchange in one country, and then you transfer that XRP to an exchange in another country, and then you sell it back into the local currency there. Doesn't that make a lot more sense? But this guy, Nick Carter, he hasn't thought through this. He literally hasn't thought through it, but he's spouting off nonsense to hundreds of thousands of people on Twitter. What in the ever-loving hell? I'm so glad I have this platform so I can correct this nonsense. And then Matt Hamilton wrote the following. Let's say they use a BAHT stablecoin, B-A-H-T, the currency, BAHT stablecoin. The Thai entity sends BAHT to Brazil. Then what? What can the Brazilian financial institution do with BAHT? There is no local market for it. The only way to redeem to stablecoin is to send it back to the Thai issuer. Back to square one. Ding, ding, ding. Hitting the nail on the head. How does this guy not freaking get it? Matt Hamilton's killing it here. And then he shared this article. I'm not going to read it. I've actually covered this before. It's from October 29th, 2021. It's a Ripple Insights piece, which is their official blog series, and it's titled, On-Demand Liquidity Sees Record Growth and Transaction in 2021. Now, mind you, on-demand liquidity requires the usage of XRP for settlement specifically. And so Matt Hamilton, from that article, cited a few facts. He's got 3 bullet points here. Number 1, Ripple's on-demand liquidity product grew 25x in Q3 2021 versus Q3 in 2020. 25-fold increase for the usage of XRP. 25-fold increase. And again, what did we see from Nick Carter here. It's on your screen again. No one wants to use XRP for payments or as an intermediate currency in foreign exchange transfers. He's just lying to people. He's just absolutely lying. Who is following this guy? Next bullet point. We're 25%, Ripple's on-demand liquidity product, we're 25% of total dollar volume in Q3 2021. And the third one is Ripple's on-demand liquidity product available in over 20 countries. Folks, it's just being adopted more and more. Where do you think this is going to go? And the reason it's getting adopted is because there's real utility. It's solving a real freaking problem. So there it is. It is what it is. Bitcoin maxi trolls, everybody. Bitcoin maxi trolls. And this is this emotional response that he seems to be having. Anybody. And mind you, like, Ripple's a force for good. They're literally helping some of the poorest people on the planet reduce their remittance costs. You know? I think expatriates sending money back home. They're typically not filthy rich. And this is a force for good, so that less money goes to intermediaries, more money goes to families back home. That's a force for good for some of the poorest people. And this guy says that Ripple's ghastly. And anybody that's ever worked for them, you're dead to them. Because reasons, that's why. Because reasons. Really grinds my gears, folks. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.